What's up, people? Today is Tuesday, October 24th, and we are doing a trade recap for a trade we took yesterday, Monday, October 23rd. So if we go to the Discord, you'll see in the trade ideas I had sent out a trade. Let's see. No, wasn't that. Anyway, I sent out a bunch of things yesterday, but let me just recap it here. So I've just applied the bar replay tool to replay back to yesterday. So here, if I zoom in, you'll see we had a 15-minute zone. Yes, so it was a 15-minute zone. So what we had here, let me replay back. We want to see how price reacts at this zone. So we have a double SAR zone. So here, if I play this, you'll see this. We have a test and reject. So this was a possible, at that point, it was a possible test and rejection of a double SAR zone in the direction of daily bias. And then, so that's the test candle, tested this zone and closed below it. Then we need the next candle to also close below that zone. So that's the rejection candle. So let's see what happened with the rejection candle. So rejection candle closed, also failed to break and close above, but closed below. So at this point, if you're doing a short position there, I normally do 30 pips stop loss, 60 pips TP. Oh, I'm sorry, this is US 30. I'm sorry, US 30. I normally do 50 pips stop loss, 100 pips TP. So you can see, and I always ask myself, relative to my entry, how far are the SARs I'm trading? So here, the SARs are like 70% away. So for me, beginning this week, I said I'll always wait for a retracement if price, because that's a red flag right there. Because once you take a trade, if let's say the trade hits stop loss, you always want to ask yourself, is there anything you could have done as a trader to avoid that loss? And you want to get to a point where, as a trader, when you ask yourself that question, the answer is no. But if there's something you could have done to avoid a loss and you didn't do it, then it's on you to backtest and forward test and see what works and what doesn't work for you for that particular setup. So for me here, I found that waiting for a retracement is better than just, as much as the trade was valid here, I would rather wait for a retracement if price is overextended. So here, and I told folks in the group that you need to drop down to the 1 minute time frame. Let's see, this was the trade. Wait, because I sent it as an official trade. So if we go here, so selling US 30 now, 0.75% risk, 100 pip TP and 50 pip stop loss. So here, what I would have done is drop down now to the 1 minute time frame, because I would have wanted to see price retrace to this zone, and then I find an entry on the 1 minute time frame. So here, since we are about to go to the 1 minute time frame, I don't extend my SARs. So I reduce the extension right there, and then I change the time frame to a 1 minute time frame. So what we want to see here on the 1 minute time frame, we want to see price retrace to this zone. Want to see price retrace to this zone, which is the SAR zone, and then we look for a 1 minute entry here for price to shift to the downside. So if we play this, you'll see, so price went down and then retraced back up. So when price got back up to this zone, now it's already tested that zone. So since it's tested that zone, what we want to happen here is to find a 1 minute SAR entry, a live 1 minute SAR entry. And there it is. Excuse me. So there it is being formed. Okay, so we need 2 candles to close below this 1 minute SAR's entry. So here we zoom in, so that's just 1 candle closing, then we keep waiting. So those are 2 candles closing. So at this point, I think this is the candle I said I was selling US 30 now. Doesn't look like it was down. I forget, maybe it wasn't that entry. This is the issue with backtesting. doesn't look like it was that entry. Let me see. It should have been that one. Yeah, I guess it's just maybe the broker or something, because this is the trade right there, because at this point the trade was at a 1:1 risk to reward right here. Give me 1 second. 1 minute entry running. No, that's a different trade. Yeah, so this was it right here. Yeah, actually that was the trade. Yep, that was the trade. I'm sorry. Yeah, because yesterday we had too many trade setups, so that's why I was getting a little confused. So this one, trade went straight into profit with no drawdown. So if we shift back to the 15-minute time frame, you can see that dip right there. So when this trade had achieved a 1:1 risk to reward, because for all of my entries, if you achieve a 1:1 risk to reward, you go ahead and set break even. So at this point, we had already achieved 1:1 risk to reward. So we went ahead, I said, go ahead and set break even for that trade. So we were up nicely and we were risking 0.75% per trade. We were risking 0.75% per trade. So for this one was already at a 1:1, but we got some retracement back to the upside, which ended up taking us out of the trade at break even right there. So that's the trade right there. And if we go to the Discord, this is the same one. And I had said, right, trade taken out at break even. So that's, you know, when price had come back up. So I was hoping that we got some sell pressure when price had come around here, but unfortunately the trade got stopped out at break even. Later on in the day, I did find another entry, but it was after a huge push to the upside. So I did take some profit on that trade, but again, it wasn't, actually the trade hit full TP for me, but it wasn't an official trade that was sent in the group, but I just sent it out as a trade idea. But of course, we're not going to count that as an official trade. So that's why yesterday we are marking break even for the day based off of this trade. So we'll see what other trades set up during this week, and we'll move from there. But anyway, catch you guys in the next video. Peace. What's up people? Today is Wednesday, October 25th, and this is another review for a trade we won. So this is a trade from yesterday. Actually, this is a trade we won on Tuesday, October 24th. So I'm just doing a recap for it. So this was a US 30 trade. So yesterday we were up, we won the trade and gained 1.5%. And if I go ahead and replay this, so this was the trade right here. So if you look at you in the Discord, so I said I was selling US 30 with a 0.75% risk, 100 pip TPs, 50 pip stop loss. And you can see that was the trade right there that was sent. And also if you look at the results yesterday, you can see in one of the trades that I won for US 30, this was it right here. I won this particular trade. I took other trades personally as well, but you can see that was a trade we won. So again, so the win yesterday brought us up like 0.75% for the month. So keep in mind, this is just a snippet of the overall trades that I even take on a personal level. So keep in mind, the official trades are just to guide you and make sure that you're understanding the strategies, because here the month of October for the official trades, yes, is 0.75, but personally my returns are much higher than 0.75. So the idea here is that you need to learn how to apply the strategies so that you're not relying on me to give you all the entries, because what can happen is that if you're relying on me, we can go on the live session or I can send an official trade out in the Discord and it ends up hitting stop loss, but I can take another trade after the live session, like on a personal level, and I end up having wins or recovering that loss. Well, if you're just anticipating or waiting for me to give you all the trades, you might end up not having as much as a win rate as I would have. And keep in mind, there's nothing different that I do that I don't show on the live session. So all my entries are the same. I normally give the times I trade, the times I do not, and I give access to all these indicators. So I don't use anything that's different from what I show you guys here. But anyways, so the trade from yesterday, so we had this double SAR zone. So as of yesterday, because we always start with the daily bias, my daily bias for US30 yesterday was bearish because the last closure of a daily candle or of a daily SAR was bearish. And then came in, we were looking, or I was looking at what price would do at this 15-minute zone, because I think this zone up here is a 30-minute zone. This zone up here again is a 30-minute zone. Also, since I'm reviewing a setup from yesterday, I'm just using the chart replay mode because I did not do this review after, like immediately after we won the trade. So I want us to see what price does in the when it comes to this double SAR zone right here. So you can see we have this big candle that comes and closes below this double SAR zone. So keep in mind, all my entries are for 2 candle closures. So here I came and I labeled this as a break and continuation sell, possible break and continuation sell. So what I would have wanted to see here is the next 15-minute candle closing below that zone. And if it did, that's the trade that I was looking to take. So let's see what happens with the next 15-minute candle. So the next 15-minute candle attempts to close above and attempts also to push lower. But guess what? If you zoom in, this candle closed exactly below this SAR level. So to me, that's an A+ setup. I like setups on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, where I do not have to go down to the 1 hour, 5 minute, down to the 1 minute or 5 minute for an entry there, because the key thing, what I consider an A+ setup, is when the confirmation candles, so whether it's a break and continuation, the continuation candle, whether it's a test and rejection, the rejection candle, closing next to the SARs. So when it closes next to the SAR, it means price is not overextended. It means price is giving you an avenue to enter in at the optimal level. So at this point, when I saw this, because this is exactly what I wanted to happen, this candle to close exactly like right around the SARs. So when I saw this, I sent out the notification in the Discord right here. Under indices, I said selling US30 now with 0.75% risk and 100 pips TP or points TP, 50 point stop loss. And if you look at it, it's literally the same setup. So at this point, even with that markup, this had turned from a possible break and continuation to an outright break and continuation. So you go ahead and delete that. So you can see it's exactly what I sent yesterday. So if we play the trade, you can see it had started in a little bit of drawdown. And then here we had that momentum that I was waiting for. And look at that. Price went straight to TP right there in about 30 minutes. So at this point, when the trade was coming down and it was achieving a 1:1 risk to reward, because for all of my trades, if you achieve, because this was a 1:2 risk to reward, so if you achieve a 1:1 risk to reward, at this point you go ahead and move your stop loss to break even to secure some profit. So personally, there are people who secure some profits right there, but for me, I just set break even and then either wait for TP or break even to be hit. So here you can see set break even. Okay, so at this point, set break even at the very least, and this was what, about 20-30 minutes later, right? Set break even at the very least, trade achieved a 1:1. So you can see I sent that out because I did the same markup. The trade achieved the 1:1 risk to reward, and I asked folks to set break even, and eventually the trade went ahead and hit full TP for a gain of 1.5%. Now here you can see here I did the update, full TP for a 1.5% gain. So markets have definitely have started moving pretty nicely compared to the last few weeks, and we are getting back in our groove. So this was that setup for yesterday. Today we did not have any official trades. However, I did send some trade ideas that actually ended up hitting full TP as well. And that's the idea right there, right? For people to come and find what works and learn. So because this is one of the US30 trades that I sent today. It was a trade idea, so I didn't send it as an official trade. And you can see it went ahead and hit full TP. And even for me, I took, so that's the difference, right? So I took it. It wasn't an official trade, but because I know the strategies, I know how to adjust or adapt to the trades. Like I started the day off in a loss, but you can see I made it back with 2 trades. But anyway, so let's see what the rest of the week holds, and we'll see whether we get some other trades, official trades, either tomorrow, which is Thursday, or on Friday. But anyway, until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. What's up guys? Today is Thursday, October 26th, and it's currently 1 p.m. and going over a trade recap we took today on the live session. A gold buy that ended up for a gain of 0.75%. So if you look at this here, you can see we had a 0.75% gain. Now here, if we go over that trade, so starting off, our daily bias for gold still bullish because the last closure of an SAR was bullish. So going down to the 15-minute time frame, we had this double SAR right here. So let me delete this below right here because that's also a 30-minute. But you guys can see these 2 candles right here. I'm sorry, 2 SARs right here that I've highlighted. So that's the zone we are looking at. So here, what you'd want, and I've put the chart in replay mode, but this is a trade we took on the live session. So the trade, of course, validated there. But if you're using a 30 pips stop loss, 60 pips TP, which is what I use for gold, the red flag here was price was overextended, and stop loss wouldn't have been below the SAR zones that we are trading. So here we do 2 things. So of course, I always recommend waiting for a retracement back down to the SAR zone and dropping down to the 1-minute time frame to find an entry. And also, you would do your markup such that if any, for somebody who entered the trade on candle closure and they didn't care about overextension of price, you go ahead and ask yourself at what point would they achieve break even, because if the trade gets here first before retracing, then it should go ahead and delete the setup because the person who took it on candle closure would be at a break even. So after this point, since the trade validated, we go down to the 1 minute and we would want price to retrace first before going into profit for somebody who entered on candle closure. So since we're going on the 1 minute time frame, I don't extend my SARs in order to reduce clutter on the chart. So if we go to the 1 minute, we want to see a retracement back down. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mark this up. So we do our markup here. So this zone, that was a break and continuation buy. And so when it validated, we remove the word possible. So we want to see gold retracing back to this zone, and then we want to find a 1 minute entry. So we already have our markups here that have followed us right here. So we want to see what will gold do. So we would want gold to retrace first before giving this person like a 1:1 risk to reward. And you can see gold starts the retracement down. So that's what we want to see, but we want gold to touch this zone as it retraces. So we wait. Yes, that's a live 1 minute SAR, but first gold needs to come all the way down here first. So, and you can see at this point gold tested that zone. So at this point we are looking for a 1 minute live SAR. So for price to form a live 1 minute SAR and to have 2 consecutive candles to form above it. Now here, the person who entered on candle validation, as much as the trade was valid, but they ignored the red flag of overextension. So they would have been automatically stopped out by this trade. So for us here, there's that 1 minute live SAR. But do we have 2 candles closing above? Nope. But now for that one, the current one that's running, you can see at this point we have 2 consecutive candles. So at this point, I said I was buying gold with a 0.375% risk, and 30 pips stop loss, 60 pips TP. The reason I said 0.375 and not our regular 0.75 is actually we are in an EU trade and it's coming back in profit. So we had entered this EU trade with a 0.75% risk. So currently the trade is back to break even, and for me, I know the max risk I like people doing per day is like 1.5% risk, but I don't like pushing it. So that's why for this one it was 0.75% risk, the other one was 0.375, so that in case, in the off chance both hit stop loss, somebody would only be down 1.125%. I don't really like getting to that threshold of 1.5%, but hopefully this trade comes into profit and gives us a nice profit, but we'll see how this trade pans out. So that's the reason I took this one with a 0.375%, and you can see trade came back in profit, and at some point we had already achieved break even, because at this point trade had achieved a 1:1 risk to reward, was already 30 pips in profit right there. So at this point we go ahead and set our trade to break even and let it ride, and you can see that the trade went to full TP right there. Due to slippage for me, I still hadn't hit take profit at this point, but you can see the trade eventually came back and hit full TP. So we were risking 0.375%, and because it was a 1:2, we won this trade and made 0.75%. So worst case, we end today with a break even, because if this EU trade hits stop loss, then this would be a break even trade, because we would lose 0.75%. We'd lose the 0.75% we gained. But anyway, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this trade goes to full TP and we should be golden for the day. But whatever happens to this trade, I'll do another recap and we'll see how this trade ends up. Okay, let's give it a few more minutes or hours during the day and I'll see you guys for that one. Hey, what's up guys? So just going back to the EU trade on the previous recap we did, EU finally hit TP overnight. So right now it's Friday, October 27th, and it's currently 9:09 a.m. But you can see eventually EU came back and hit full TP. So if I go back to the same setup on the 15-minute time frame, let me reset this. You can see EU went and hit full TP. So the trade was based off of a double SAR break and continuation. So this was the zone right here. We started off in a little bit of drawdown, but then trade came back into profit and then eventually hit TP overnight. So that with this trade we were risking 0.75% per trade, so that was a 1.5% gain. So I went ahead and already recorded the returns for yesterday. So yesterday we had a win. The gold win was for 0.75%, and then the EU win was for 1.5%. So yesterday we were up 2.25%. So right now overall for the month of October we are up 3%, and just the other day we'd started the month with being down 2.5%. So we have like 2 more trading days left during the month, so we'll see what the market gives until then. But that should be it for today. We'll see if today, Friday, we get any trades, but that should be it. All right, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.